Alright, I'm also, sorry, restarting the recording. And we're back!
With the riff track.
Yes, that is true, but so what? Truth be told, there is no way that Master Mask could have known about this pattern.
What do you mean?
This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor.
I find this just to be very funny, Mr. Trey.
The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error, or should I say, an error-prone human. and that's when the pink paint got on the urn.
Ugh, you can't be serious.
And yet this calling card clearly mentions the pink pattern. Which means Detective Atney had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when the fake photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water.
Get a big ass bag for one fucking licorice. Come on.
Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Alright, that did it. He's broken.
Nick? I think it's still a little early for a victory pose. Huh?
Ha! So sad. No one has any conviction.
Conviction, you say?
Instead, we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mask. Now we're calling him a murderer. Don't think we're being a tad fickle.
That's a good point.
No way! Don't tell him that too, Your Honor!
You say that Luke Gavin was the one who killed Mr. Kane Banana. Let me ask you this, why would he do that? Excellent point. Motive, Mr. Right, a motive. Might you my merry murderous motive manifest?
Shut the fuck up.
Nick, he's getting his second wind.
If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron DeLite as you say, it must have been a very strong motive for murder.
Oh, if any motive we've seen is Ron DeLite. Is that right? Indeed, according to my own research, the boy's motive is clear.
Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were.
Thank you, sir, old-timer.
They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance.
Motive for murder. Okay.
I, look at me, had no point of contact with the victim whatsoever. And bacteria decided to investigate the Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Billboard Baggins who wrote that blackmailed letter and sent it to Ron DeLite. It was again Mr. Big Black Dot who harbored the grudge against Mr. DeLite.
Big Black what?
Big Black Dot.
Big Black Dot.
For fuck's sake. God, now I know how Robert feels. Mr. Bulltongue mistook it quite excusably. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That's why Mr. DeLite sought to kill Kane. God damn it. Biggest Dingus Robbus shouldn't have thought of this jocus. Truly a tragedy. Alright, one of these episodes needs to be titled What Starts with the Letter B.
What starts with the letter B? So the victim, Kane Bullet, blackmailed the defendant.
This is the blackmail of the defendant's department. Handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bull Tongue Penis was indeed the one who wrote the letter.
You said bull tongue already.
Yeah, but I added another word to it, so fuck you.
What?
Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination and make it snappy.
Yes, indubitably.
I, Luke Acme, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane decided to investigate Master Mask and simply missed it.
You just don't even want to say it.
It was Mr. Brisk who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. Okay, and it was again Mr. Barr who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Barrister's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That's why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Brofist. Truly a tragedy.
He killed Mr. Brofist.
So you're gonna try to connect Detective Acme to Mr. Bash, right? Yeah, that's right. Hopefully it won't require surgery either. In that case, you'll have to talk about the blackmail. That's true. Was that blackmail letter really intended for Ron? If you don't have enough information, you should press him for more testimony. And he'll be able to shake some contradictions loose that way. Okay, I'm gonna press this. And who in the world is gonna prove that?
I will.
Oh.
We're doing a thorough background check on Detective Acme and Kane Brestis. We were unable to find any links between them, and it's all in the report.
Perhaps they're connected to their work. Maybe they were both involved in security.
Nope.
That was blunt.
In any case, the other one with the model of Mr. Delight.
Okay. Simply mistook who he was. No. Couldn't be.
Mistook?
That's right, mistook. From the Old Norse mistaka, meaning to take in error.
That wasn't what I meant.
I learned something new today. Just who did the victim mistake Mr. Master be?
Why, the answer is obvious, Ron the lighter. Of course,
Well, I'd like to wipe that smug off that look of this guy's face. Why would the victim mistake the defendant for Master Mask?
Don't you understand? Already know that, Right. Take a look at this newspaper.
Oh, that's the famous Tear of Eminon, a magnificent jewel.
That photo shows a magnificent detective as well, does it not? Furthermore, it also shows the ugly god, namely the defendant.
The defendant?
Don't kill him misread the article and why? You got the wrong impression. The impression that this ugly security guard was in fact a mascot. The mask.
The dude looks like Leia Organa, that's far from ugly. I see.
I mean, he does really look like a chick.
That was an unusually reasonable deduction.
Wait.
This is incorrect.
I mean, yeah, because isn't he the one that keeps? Isn't he the one that's making Ron the Light be Master Mask?
No, the key, I believe, is in what's in the blackmail letter. The red diamond. Look what's on his finger.
Ah shit! Here we go again.
I'm gonna press this, and if nothing comes of it, I'll break it.
You mean this blackmail letter right here?
It says bring $50,000.
And the writing is without a doubt the victims.
There's no mistake. We had an official report to prove it.
But I don't see an addressee on this letter anywhere.
Addressee?
The letter was discovered in Ron Delight's apartment. Mr. Delight did show up at the designated place and time. But that there is no address is irrelevant.
I wonder... What's up, Dick? I just had a thought. What if that blackmail letter wasn't meant for Mr. Delight? Wow, do you have any evidence of that? For some reason I just can't shake the feeling that there's something not quite right about this blackmail letter.
Well, everyone, are you quite satisfied?
Yeah, this is incorrect. I'm gonna try and present it on this statement.
Objection!
Okay, I'm good.
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme?
Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright.
When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction.
Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that.
Oh, you wounded me. Ah, the bird.
You want to talk?
Sounds like these men are made to express themselves with their fists. Let me at 'em. Why don't you show us what you got there, Junior?
Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradicting evidence and the content of the blackmail letter.
Contradicting what?
Isn't it the letter itself?
Save and try presenting the letter again, or if not, try presenting look at me himself. Ha! A little 2-1 punch like that wouldn't even phase.
Objection! I think you mean 1-2 punch.
Mr. Wright, try thinking things through a little more before finding fault with... Oh my god. Let's look at me.
Ha! A little
Okay,
2-1
it's this
punch
again.
like you would.
It's gotta be Master Mask.
What color is this paper thing from the... What, like the jewel thing in the paper? What
Oh,
color
the
is
Tear of
it?
Emanon.
Oh, you were right. Holy shit. Take a good look
I
at
mean,
this
the thing is-
newspaper clipping.
Yeah, I mean, he might have just mistaken the coloring for it.
It contains a picture of the Tear of Emanon, which is the stolen jewel.
What about it?
The problem is this jewel's color.
Color? I'm not for discussing color myself. 2020.
According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day.
It's you.
Red?
Which means, the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tear of Emanon that Master Mask stole at all.
Your point is, Mr. Trey? You are saying that the blackmail letter was indeed for someone else? Or is it that you're trying to save, right, Trey?
That is what you're saying to say, right?
Well, that's what you're trying to say, right, Dick? Yes.
Yeah.
This is who Kane Colorblind was actually blackmailing. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme.
You have some sort of basis for that claim?
You've been personally involved in every single Master Mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel as your reward.
Jewel? It does look like he's smoking, doesn't it?
It does. Probably
Like
the one
the finger he has open, it looks like a metal thing is between his fingers, so it looks like it could be a cigarette.
To be fair, he was meant to drink bourbon and smoke.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring.
God, accessorizing has been my downfall.
That is the diamond referred to in the letter, which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you.
Order in the court. Order, I say.
You've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr.
Uh-oh. I don't like the way he said that.
Kane, blackmailing, look at me. Are you for real?
Yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up to him.
And answer me. This. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. You don't want your identity revealed to the world.
Yes, it certainly does.
Kane Batman threatened to make look at me's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So just what was that identity?
Adme killed Kane Blue Balls because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret? This is what it all comes down to, Nick. The identity that Luke Adme wanted so desperately kept secret was an identity as... a blackmailer?
I mean, the issue here is...
It's not
like,
Master Mask.
Okay, so it's not Master Mask. I mean...
It would have to be a blackmailer, because Luke was blackmailing... Ron.
Yeah, okay, let's try that.
Luke Atme was a blackmailer.
Objection!
Hey now, you're a rock star. Isn't it a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane, Bruce Wayne, was the one blackmailing Luke at Maine. You're saying that Abby was blackmailing someone else on top of that?
Ah, you have to admit, that does sound a little odd. It's not odd, it's the only thing that makes any sense.
God, I hate you for this.
Why?
As much as you hate yourself for this.
Kane Brown Pants was blackmailing Luke Atme. But Rod Delight was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So did you start to receive blackmail letters starting after this incident?
Yes! Just a few days after the Tear of Enamon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person, incredibly detailed plans. Detailed plans? In which case, that would mean that Ron Delight was actually Master Mask.
That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atme.
Shh. Silence. Now I see it's all becoming clear.
What is?
You were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless with the tendency to jump to conclusions, am I wrong?
How did you...
See, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I am your father. You see that I look at me with blackmailing the rod and the light. In case I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask.
Well, yes.
On the light started to receiving plans for his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed a first crime.
Good point, you certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise.
In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Fucking newspaper clipping, no? I think I see it.
See what?
When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention.
Fuck you, Phoenix Wright.
This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Ron Delight in this guard uniform. It seems that Master Mass didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket.
That sounds far too stupid to be true.
Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ex-detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atney. That's when you learned that under his Master Mask was really Ron Delight. What the? Wasn't he supposed to be Master Mask?
Not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective.
I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer.
What a fraud trying to pass himself off as an ace detective.
What is Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants doing in here?
And Patrick, we need to go back under the sea.
No, SpongeBob, I'm watching the trial.
Why you? Dare you expose me like that? I'll have my revenge on you. I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and powerful detective and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that?
I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity.
Why you? Do you even dare to tell? I cannot literally read any of this.
Ace detective cannot handle the blackmail, but the threats will get away with this. Ha 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 ha. It's enough to make one laugh.
I think he just had a stroke.
Yeah, he had a breakdown.
Let's see if we finally got into the real answer.
That was quite a performance, Mr. Atney.
Bailiff, please prepare yourself for Miss Atney. Oh my fucking god. Shut the fuck up, you green coffee drinking muppet.
The hammer strikes too fast, doesn't it, technically?
Kermit the Frog, get off the fucking prosecutor's bench, please.
No, I will not do it.
I Quirker's coffee, Midoriya. What do you mean?
Coffee, Midoriya.
I'm already prepared to deliver my sentence.
Let me see one thing.
Okay, go back to
sorry. Sorry. The coffee burnt my throat. I will be the one to judge.
You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws weren't sharp enough. That's right. That's right, you didn't even get the mister.
Where do you...
It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Like, look at me, he was a filthy blackmailer. And that he wasn't at Brody Till at the night of the murder.
That's right, that's why he's the one who killed Mr. Bull.
But there's still one thing you have yet to prove.
What's that?
He wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene, does it? Therefore, if you can't prove that the pitiful excuse for a man was a KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered.
No way!
Yes way.
Order on the court? Well, Mr. Wright. You look like you're getting your ass kicked.
This is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Mr. Atney was at Mr. Buttmunch's office on that night. But can you really prove that?
That's long enough, Mr. Wright. I want to hear your answer.
That night, Luke Atney was at KB Security and the defense
I prove it? There's nothing that specifically implicates Atme.
Ah, the actual letter for the money for the blackmail letter. The at KB security at 1 a.m. on October 12th during 5 a.m. If he's the one that sent that letter, he's the one that should be there.
Can prove it.
So he'll be there, murder him, and then frame him.
The defense can prove it
Same.
with evidence. Are you sure?
Ha! Don't you worry, I'll watch over you. As you break down and fall to pieces.
Very
Little
well then,
shit.
let's see this proof. Proof that Luke Admin was at KB Security that night. The blackmail letter, so... let's try that. This is the proof. It's true, that is very important. However, I'm not so foolish as to think that will pass for evidence here.
I'm sure it's time to learn the true flavor of life. They were my special Godot blend number 49.
Well, Mr. Wright? It's bitter. Very bitter.
Come on, Nick, don't give up now.
What do I do if I make a mistake here? It's over. I can't prove it. I can't prove it. Just as I thought.
It's stupid, like, the card literally should be fucking proved. Fuck this game.
But if we hear more of Mr. Activatme's testimony...
We're just as far as you go, Mr. Trent.
What do you mean?
I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean.
You're not the one running this court. What?
You're gonna look at me here after we interrupted his own trial? And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder? I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial. And face his guilty verdict as mask to mask.
No.
Well now, sir lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as master medical verify. Well, just as Rhonda Light will verify that he is a true murderer. You hear that with the full force of my ace detectiveness?
Order in the court, that's enough deliberation of this witness.
I can't believe it. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and...
By then it'll be too late.
Huh? But why?
Yeah, here comes.
Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any courtroom.
Double jeopardy?
Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. That is a fundamental rule of all courts. And it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else.
He will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as master mask, which means...
He'll be innocent as far as the murder of Cain Bollockhead is concerned.
No way.
The fact that you are unable to prove Mr. Adme's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Cain Burrito's murderer.
Ah.
Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, a real killer, Luke Atme, will go free.
You've cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today, and as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections? Well, we've just proved that he's not Master Mask. He can't be guilty of that crime. But I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atme.
Objection!
Who?
Is it the wife?
Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result.
But how did you...
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets.
Cheers,
That
love.
voice, no way. Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia. This is the true power of the
That's
Korean
so
channeling
weird.
technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. Yes, that's true, but... Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks.
Let me say that again.
Yes.
Well, now, so lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. And the detective as well as Master Mask, you have virtual verified that. Just as Ron the Light will be verified, he is the true murderer. And that with the full force of my ace detective.
Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well, then we shall approve their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor?
Is something the matter, Mr. Godot?
Nothing. Oh, sir lawyer, looks like you're one step too late. You think such false will do anything to me? Look at. Let's hear it. Huh? It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear his last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godot! The fuck?
Very well then, look at me. I'll allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks.
The defense would like to hear why you declare the defendant to be the true murderer.
So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
The fuck?
Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief.
This is going to be a monster
like
of a
that.
testimony.
Mr. Godot. The fuck? Indeed, it is true that I was not a lordly tailor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job. I had to know about the date before, and so I had this photograph ready. My very introduction was one informed me that the true culprit was Ron the Light. And thanks to the key card and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I don't want to say indubitably. I was able to make a deduction that from the buzzer which only sounded once. But did not have any fingerprint on it. Why? Wisdom would have left print if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. The Light was wearing his mass effort, which is why he left no prints. And blackmailer, victim likely to mistake the color of the jewel. Right! Therefore, all of this evidence points to that poor bitch boy.
This testimony actually seems to hold up really well.
The witness's only remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course.
But how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
The police investigation documents went directly through me. Right through my butt. Right up in the mud. So I look over all the documents in elementary. It's elementary, sir lawyer. Going to make even more trouble for us now, Mr. Lawyer.
I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
We cannot postpone Luke Atney's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Hang on a sec, just one chance.
Ah, you only get one chance, and not a chance to blow, Mr. Seems that the party is about to begin.
Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it.
Cup number 17, Alaska. Seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial.
I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find a contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance.
Do not miss your chance to blow.
Very well done, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final examination. So, I've just noticed something really interesting. Two things, actually. First of all, the judge will actually fail me if I press any given statement. I will be an instant game over if I press anything. Watch.
Okay.
Mr. Atney, about this last remark.
You still don't get it, do you, Trey? This isn't the time to be present to witness on every little statement.
What?
Said this before. There's still one thing you haven't proven. That this scum was in Kane
Just say Bullard.
Bullard's office that night. And now it's time for me to drink my last cup.
Mr. Wright, I will hold you to the end of the bargain. See?
You did. Bam.
2. 3. There's one specific one. It's not this one. How does he know this?
Yeah.
How does he know he was wearing his Master Mask outfit?
Yeah, because Ron the Light told us this, and if he wasn't at the crime scene, how did he know? He couldn't have heard it from all the way in the other courtroom.
Yeah.
Mr. Atney, about this last remark.
So don't get it, do you, Troy? And it's time to be present to witness on every little statement.
Shut the fuck up, Godot. I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot.
What?
Mr. Atney, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder.
How can you say that?
Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atney? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. Is that correct?
Indeed, that's why I said my deductions are absolutely full.
More like your deductions prove that you're a fool.
You're a foolish fool. Foolish that thinks he can do foolish things. Sorry, what do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty.
When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed up as Master Mask when he went to the scene of the crime?
That was,
It was just a few hours ago. Like when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare.
Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now.
That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atney? There is no way that you should have known about that. You're in the next courtroom being tried as Master Mask. So then, enlighten us. How did you know about this piece of information?
Well, come on. This Dixon must have known about it. You probably had plenty of chance to find out before.
Objection! And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out.
What may you say?
Please remember, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony.
When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there.
For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
Mr. Delight never saw him. No way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke at.
Objection! It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head.
Just what are you implying?
Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to follow that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight.
Impossible. Dun dun dun.
It's almost like the silhouette gave it away.
Detective Atme, you saw the Master Mask. Sorry, Detective Atme, you saw the Master Mask.
It's the Master Mask. Okay.
We saw the master.
Detective Atme, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing.
What is happening?
Going super safe. Look, everyone. Able to find a rivalry of machines, I forced to create one by myself.
Speak louder.
Here I am, tragic clown.
What's the same one you gave us today?
But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time.
Like all the music even sounds like something for a clown-ish thing.
What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bad Luck was blackmailing Lou Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme trying to frame Ron Delight, he then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime.
And to that end, he came up with his plan. To use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi.
Anyway, it would seem we finally found the truth.
Excuse me?
I came perilously close to besmudging the record of an innocent young man. Besmudging him with the title of murderer.
Don't ignore me!
Oh, I didn't realize you were there.
Why wouldn't he be?
About the verdict. I know, you never committed any murder.
That's right, so I'm glad you understand that, but I really am Master Mask.
Huh?
So thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it? You said double jeopardy?
Now that you mention it...
I've been careless.
You know what's happening, Iffy?
Careless. What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, Master Mask is really innocent? For now. It would seem so. But for now.
Now then, the school finds the defendant. He can't be tried again as Master Mask.
Yeah. So he gets scot-free from everything.
Boy, this really is really lucky. Wait a minute. This isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still have Master Mask after all. You did it, Nick. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days, and you're a pillock. Oh. I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of lost these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Korean channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. You mean Misty Fang? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around.
But of course.
Later, bitch. Yeah.
Mr. Right! I don't know what to say.
Congratulations, Mr. Delight.
Well, thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore now that all of this has happened.
Come on, just be happy already. Maya. You've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot.
But in exchange, I lost everything.
Huh? What do you mean?
Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Master Mask. I did it all for one reason, for her.
You mean your wife, Desiree?
She hates criminals more than anything.
Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she?
She always said how she hated sneaking criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure.
So that's why you became Master Mask.
Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together.
That's not true, right, Nick? Right.
Really? Can we go back to the way things were?
You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. What? Again? I kinda wish you would check with me first. Jesus. Mr. Delight, if a ball is broken, there's always a way to put it back together.
The secret urn? Desi was the one who found this.
Desiree, your wife, she's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Ah, there you are. Miss Delight. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, but, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you?
Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Master Mask either. Miss Delight, what are you gonna do now that you know? You're not gonna literally leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away?
What the fuck is happening?
After all, my bike's really fast, so fast that there's no way he could ever get away. But didn't you say that you hated criminals? Hmm? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky, like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous. I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement.
Desi.
Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy? Yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red.
Mr. Nick, Mr. Maya, congratulations.
Talk about bad timing.
Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man's wife, in front of Mr. Maya. I'll never forgive you. Never, ever.
Bitch slap.
So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness.
Bros knocked him the fuck out.
How are they getting him home?
You know it's hilarious when they fucking like. Oh, you just win a case, right? You just had a bad day. You've just you got off a guy up from due to double jeopardy. All is well and good, and then some 9-year-old walks in and beats your ass.
Ron said a broken bone could never be put back together, but I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together, even better than before.
Dude, it looks like someone to put the Bismol on it. What the fuck?
Episode 2, The Stolen Turnabout. The end. Oh, holy shit. But I guess that's the next one. But until then, we'll see you guys around. This was Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations. The Riff Track.